What's up, guys? Welcome back to our coverage of the MLG Winter Exhibition. My name is axeltoss. I am joined by axslav, and before we jump into Game 3 of this best of 5 between Creator and Minigun, Full Sail University, you just saw that awesome video reel of the stuff you could potentially do there. FullSail.edu/MLG is your source if you're thinking about getting into graphic design, video production, stuff like that, anything in the gaming industry. Maybe you want to work for MLG one day doing that fancy stuff. Again, our graphic designer went to Full Sail University. FullSail.edu/MLG. Check it out. They'll have you fill in some information about yourself, and then they'll send some information back to you. So it's not like I'm asking you to, commit right now. I just go check it out and see if it's cool, and then make a decision from there. Of course, we should talk about our YouTube too.
We should. YouTube is great.
It is.
One of the things that we do is we actually make a lot of content.
We do.
About 3 hours a day of StarCraft content, not to mention the Dallas Championships was like 10 hours a day. And, people may not be able to have 10 hours every day to watch StarCraft, but there may be that one day where you want to catch up. It's a time there's nothing live on air. So go to youtube.com/official MLGSC2. You'll find every single piece of footage we
Everything we produce is
on. Every single game from the Winter Championships, every single game from the Winter Showdown Series, the Winter Exhibitions, Rules of Engagement. Plus, there's some cool stuff there. There's top 5s, top 10s, playlists of the best games, comments of the day. A lot of awesome content.
Yeah, if you're ever finding yourself, in need of quality StarCraft 2 content and you're not seeing any live streams, check out the YouTube channel. There's going to be something that will entertain you, I promise. And that concludes our discussion about Full Sail on YouTube. Shall we continue with this best of 5 between Creator and Minigun?
Let's do it. Creator up 2-0 right now. Minigun is going to be looking to make a comeback. The map's going to be Akalon Waste here. We can see it's a desert-style map. Watchtowers are very important early in the game. Of course, they control all of that vision that crosses through there, as well as being able to keep track of the side bases. But to get to the side bases, Minigun has to survive the opening onslaughts, which so far he hasn't quite been able to do.
Yeah, he hasn't, and it's going to be tough. But if I could pick one person to go up against Creator, who's down 2-0, who needs to win 3 in a row, I might go ahead and pick this guy. Oh, bottom right, the Red Protoss player Minigun. What's up?
I thought you were going to say Paul, because he's
no man.
Creator.
I have a bunch of faith in good old Chad Jones. Of course, he's on Root Gaming.
He's very, very good. He's easy to underrate him, just because you saw him lose to life at the Winter Championships. But you know what? Who else has lost to life? Everybody.
Yeah.
I
haven't.
That's true. You haven't lost to life yet. But every event life's gone to outside of Korea, I believe he's won. I don't think he's ever traveled outside Korea.
That's scary.
And not
the kid,
won.
how old is he?
16.
All right.
Yeah.
That's just scary. All right. In the top left-hand location, we have the Blue Protoss player who's currently up 2-0. He is 1 win away from advancing to the next round. He is Creator from Team Prime. Showing very convincing PvP tactics thus far. Can he continue to display the awesomeness? I love this StarCraft 2 music, by the way. Have I said that before? They added new soundtracks into Heart of the Storm. And you just heard a little bit of it right there. And we'll just something to listen out for when me and Nicholas aren't talking.
I really like Minigun's opening here. More and more Protoss are using this opening, especially in Heart of the Swarm when you want that extra gas for the Mothership Core, delaying the side core just a tiny bit to get both gases before you start that side core, and having all this gas income early just gives you so much flexibility. Of course, what it does do, it slows your side core slightly. We can see that Miniguns is a few seconds behind Creators, and it basically hurts your mineral income, which means it's harder to produce a lot of gateways very fast, a lot of gateway units very fast, but all the extra gas means you can get sentries early for hallucination, you can get the Mothership Core early, or you can even do things like get both. You can tech straight to DTs while going sentries and Mothership Core. You can go Stargate play and still have a gas presence on the map. It gives you a lot more flexibility with your openings, and you don't need, if you get Warp Gate later than your opponent, it's not that big a deal anymore because you can't warp in onto high ground. That's something they patched out a while ago, and you have the Photon Overcharge, so it's a little easier to defend anyway.
Yeah, great points there. Of course, we have some sneakiness happening. Creator has a probe who is sightseeing off of this cliff. Hopefully he's not considering jumping off. Probe, you have much life to live. Please do not make that decision. We believe in you. I wonder what he's up to. Might just be scouting later, honestly.
Yeah,
because there's 3 pylons already in his main base. I don't think it's going to be a proxy.
If he was going to proxy, usually it's a third pylon that you proxy. So what he's going to do is he's going to put on a lot of pressure. This is a build we saw Huck do, actually. The 3 gates early, Stalker, pressure. He did it without the Mothership Core. So we actually pushed slightly faster than Creator's doing, but Creator will have the high ground vision. So we saw Huck actually had to make some gambles in whether or not to try the ramp. Creator will not have to make those gambles because he has the high ground vision. So we can just see what's up the ramp and decide whether to push up it or not. Minigun is going straight for Dark Templar, and I think this is a great counter build. He has 2 sentries as long as he hits the force fields right, and he's got to be very careful to back up those sentries out of range of the Stalkers so he doesn't take any losses. He's probably going to put down a Nexus right now. That, of course, will have to be canceled, but that's not a big deal. I mean, if it's worth canceling Nexus if your DTs kill your opponent. So unless Creator can figure out the DTs are out there very soon, Minigun can be in great shape. He already has 1 pylon at the top right, another probe ready to build some more proxy pylons.
All right, let's see if he decides to cancel that Nexus. He's going to see 5 Stalkers here. Needs a perfect force field, and it's down. The Mothership Core going to be extending forward, trying to find out what's going on. And now Creator might be wondering, all right, what are you up to, man? Because I only see 2 sentries. I only see a Zealot. Another force field going down. Ooh, a slight. It's okay, only letting 1 Stalker by. But
he's got to make sure those sentries don't get focused down. 1 sentry's taking a lot of damage here.
Another force field going down.
Oh no, his sentry, he still lost his sentry with 60 energy. That forced him to warp in another one. He's got to hit the force field. He's backing up. Get back in there.
Dark Shrine is almost done. A force field goes down, and he's going to delay it a little bit longer. And now the Mothership Core coming forward, but Minigun can now warp in 1 DT, and that's it. But he needs to get that out as fast as possible. Creator has a Stargate about to finish, which means he can get an Oracle, which does detect. So keep an eye on that.
Where's the Dark Templar going to go? There, 2 DTs in his main, not even using 1 to counterattack. I guess he really wants to take out his opposing units. He has the Mothership Core. There's no photon overcharge. Probes are going down, but the DTs are getting their swipes off. Creator going straight to an Oracle for the Envision ability. Yeah. And Minigun is taking so much damage on his worker line.
He's down to 11 Harvesters, and he's having to pull the rest down to 8. DT's finally
actually, that Mothership Core is just going to clean them up.
Yeah.
He can't, he doesn't have enough gas to warp in a DT to its counterattack.
Well, there's a Stalker. I mean, he could warp in an Archon, but he's going to do the GG, well played. And Creator able to bust up his opponent's ramp. And, you know, that's pretty much the story of the game. If Minigun is able to chain the force fields perfectly and prevent the Stalkers from getting up and not lose any sentries, I think he buys enough time to warp in a DT to send to his opponent's main base and do a lot of damage.
Easily. I mean, he actually lost 1 sentry that had 40 energy, 1 that had 60. So if he didn't lose both of those, it would have been at least 2 more force fields, if not even 3 with the energy regeneration. So letting that 1 Stalker up was just a little bit of a mistake there with the force field, because the Mothership Core alone can't take on all the sentries. Combined, they can focus it down. But with that Stalker support, of course, the Zealot being useless there, can't close the distance without the low ground Stalker shooting. Just a tiny bit of a misclick. That game would have gone totally differently, because if he didn't have to warp in DTs defensively, excuse me, he probably could have gotten some probe kills on the offense.
Yeah, because we did have an Oracle on the way, of course. Well, we had a Stargate on the way at that moment. And Creator could make an Oracle and warp in some units back home to deal with the offensive DTs. But, I mean, Minigun can easily clean up the force in his main. He can get some probe kills.
It would be a relatively equal game at the very least going forward. So,
like, envision the cost synergy from the Oracle. Imagine if the Oracle runs out of energy, and then you don't have any energy to actually detect any follow-up DTs. So it becomes pretty dangerous. But all that's irrelevant because Creator was able to bust up his opponent's main base and able to take down Minigun in Game 3, which means Creator takes it 3-0. And he will go to the next round. Let's look at that bracket. Now he's going to play Thorzane. It's going to be Thorzane versus Creator. That's going to be an epic matchup. Of course, Stefano not able to play in his match. Of course, on the bottom right-hand side of the bracket. Still to come, we got Sase and Ghost User. And, you know, Feast had to forfeit against Hero. So Hero will be advancing to the next round. But we're going to see a lot of great round of 8 matches coming our way this week.
I'm especially excited for Marine King versus Huck. That's going to be a great match. We saw Marine King versus Seed was a really intense 5-game series. Game 4
was awesome,
was absolutely amazing. I also am really interested. Tomorrow is going to be Sase versus Ghost User.
That should be fantastic.
Ghost User's been making plays, man.
I've been hearing stories about that guy.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about plays in League of Legends.
No.
Do you know what plays in League of Legends are?
I actually do not.
They're kind of, it's kind of synonymous to any sport. Play.
Okay,
It's like
it's a good move. Yeah, okay. I mean, I would have assumed that.
Yeah.
But he did actually really well against Bomber, even though he did lose. He lost. He took a map from
Oh,
Bomber.
yeah. If you guys missed that series, it's funny because we're making top 5s, and like every top 5 we make, Ghost User, that game is featured in it.
Of course, of course. I mean, that was an amazing game. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Game 3. See Game 2 of that series as well. Game 2, Ghost User, I felt probably he was playing really well, and there was times when he was ahead of Bomber, but in the long game, Bomber's just so good. He eventually was able to reign supreme there. Of course, that was the game on Whirlwind.
Yes.
Game 3, the other amazing game was on Newkirk City. That whole series was good though. Ghost User is a guy to watch out for. He's one of the rising stars in America. Definitely been getting much better.
And that match is tomorrow. Sauce Ghost User. All right. Well, that's going to be awesome to look forward to. Of course, after every single winter exhibition, we have Rules of Engagement hosted by you, Mr. Axlav. What do we got going on today?
So today, momentarily, right after this, exactly, we're going to get started with doing some analysis on Life versus Pult. That was one of the best series as well of the Winter Championships. Went all 5 games, of course. I'll only be looking at games 1, 4, and 5, 3. Actually, it was really tough for this one because normally I'm like, let's just pick 3 games and do 3 games. But this series, all 5 games are amazing. It's probably the series with the most really exciting games, along with Last versus Life. But anyways, games 1, 4, and 5, a lot of cool analysis. TVZ, Widow Mines, Banelines, and Life's amazing control. We'll talk about all 3 of those coming up right after this show.
Yeah, we're going to have a short break leading into that. But guys, again, you've been watching the MLG Winter Exhibition hosted by myself and axelav. My name is axeltoss. Thank you so much for watching. Again, every single day, weekday that is, 5 p.m. Eastern, we have something going on. And again, directly afterwards, Rules of Engagement. And that's exactly what's coming up next. But in between, we have a top 5 to show you. So please enjoy, and we'll see you tomorrow.